The cameras were already rolling when the moment happened, but no one expected it to feel so real. In a world where every royal appearance is carefully planned and every gesture is scrutinized, something rare unfolded between two young women who have spent their entire lives under the spotlight. As stepped forward during the royal event, the crowd watched politely, expecting the usual formal greeting. But then, standing just a few steps away, was someone who knew her not as the future queen, not as the heir to the Spanish throne, but simply as a sister. For a brief second, the formality of royal duty faded. Their eyes met. The smiles that followed were not rehearsed, not royal protocol, just the unmistakable warmth of two sisters who had spent months apart. And in that quiet but powerful moment, the world saw something deeper than royalty. They saw family. That reunion between Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofia became one of the most talked about royal moments of the year, sparking conversations across social media and royal watch communities. But behind that simple embrace lies a deeper story, one about growing up royal, walking different paths, facing enormous expectations, and holding onto the one bond that has remained constant throughout it all: sisterhood. Today, we're diving into the emotional story behind the reunion of Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofia, exploring how their relationship has evolved, why this moment touched millions of people around the world, and what it reveals about the future of Spain's royal family. And trust me, you'll want to stay until the end of this story. Princess Leonor and Sofia, the sisters' reunion moment. Growing up royal together. Long before royal duties and international headlines defined their lives, Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofia were simply two little girls growing up inside the walls of the Spanish royal household. Born on October 31, 2005, Princess Leonor entered the world as the first child of an. From the moment she was born, her destiny was already written: she would one day become Queen of Spain. 2 years later, on April 29, 2007, her younger sister Infanta Sofia arrived. Unlike Leonor, Sofia would not inherit the throne. But what she gained instead was something equally meaningful: freedom to shape her own path while supporting her sister. Growing up together, the sisters shared a childhood that was both extraordinary and surprisingly normal. Within the royal residence, they played games, attended school, and experienced the same sibling moments familiar to families everywhere. They laughed together, argued occasionally, and formed a bond that only siblings truly understand. Despite their royal status, their parents were determined to give them as grounded an upbringing as possible. Both girls attended in Madrid, where they studied alongside other students rather than being educated in isolation. From the outside, people saw two princesses. But inside their home, they were simply Leonor and Sofia, two sisters navigating childhood together. When their paths began to separate. As the girls grew older, the difference in their royal roles slowly became more visible. Princess Leonor, as the heir to the Spanish throne, began receiving training and responsibilities that reflected her future position. Every public appearance, every speech, every decision was part of preparing her to one day lead the Spanish monarchy. One of the most significant turning points came when Leonor left Spain to attend in Wales. The school is famous for educating global leaders and future changemakers. But for Leonor, it also meant something deeply personal. For the first time in her life, she would be separated from her sister for an extended period. Meanwhile, Infanta Sofia remained in Spain, continuing her education at their former school. For sisters who had grown up doing nearly everything together, this separation marked a new chapter in their relationship. Suddenly, their daily routines no longer overlapped. Their shared moments became limited to holidays, family gatherings, and occasional public events. Yet if anything, the distance seemed to strengthen their bond. Because when you grow up in one of the most scrutinized families in Europe, having someone who truly understands your life becomes priceless. And for Leonor and Sofia, that person has always been each other. The emotional reunion. After months apart, the moment of reunion between Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofia captured the attention of royal watchers across the world. It happened during a public appearance where the royal family gathered for an official engagement. Leonor had returned from her studies, and as she approached the event location, cameras quickly focused on her arrival. Dressed elegantly and carrying the calm composure expected of a future queen, she looked every bit the royal leader Spain is preparing for. But then something changed. Standing nearby was Sofia. the younger sister who had watched Leonor grow into her role, who had supported her quietly from the background. As Leonor spotted her, the formal royal atmosphere softened instantly. The smiles they exchanged were unmistakably genuine. And when they finally embraced, it wasn't just a greeting, it was the reunion of two sisters who had missed each other deeply. For a brief moment, the pressures of royalty disappeared. They were simply sisters again. Why this moment moved millions. Royal families often appear distant from everyday life. Their schedules are structured, their appearances choreographed, and their emotions carefully controlled in public. But the reunion between Leonor and Sofia reminded people that behind the titles and traditions, there are still human connections. Viewers saw something authentic. A moment of joy. A moment of relief. A moment of love between siblings. Social media quickly exploded with comments from royal fans who were touched by the interaction. Many people pointed out that the sisters' body language revealed a deep bond, something that couldn't be faked. Others admired how supportive Sofia appeared toward her sister, despite living in the shadow of the future queen. In many ways, their relationship mirrors famous royal sibling dynamics seen throughout history, but with a modern twist. Unlike past generations where rivalry sometimes overshadowed family ties, Leonor and Sofia seem to represent a new era of royal unity. Different roles, same bond. The reality of royal life means that Leonor and Sofia will continue walking different paths. Princess Leonor is destined for the throne. Her life will be defined by constitutional responsibilities, diplomatic engagements, and the expectations of leading Spain's monarchy into the future. Infanta Sofia, on the other hand, has more freedom to explore her interests and shape her identity outside the direct line of succession. But that difference has never seemed to weaken their relationship. In fact, many royal observers believe Sofia's role as the supportive sister could become one of the greatest strengths of Spain's royal family. History has shown that monarchs often rely heavily on trusted family members. And there is perhaps no one Leonor trusts more than the sister who has stood beside her since childhood. The quiet strength of Infanta Sofia. Although much of the public attention focuses on Princess Leonor, Infanta Sofia has gradually built her own quiet reputation. She is often described as confident, warm, and supportive, someone who balances the seriousness of royal duty with a relaxed, approachable personality. During public appearances, Sofia frequently appears attentive to her sister, sometimes offering subtle encouragement or sharing small moments of laughter. These interactions have not gone unnoticed. Many royal watchers believe Sofia will play a key role in helping Leonor maintain a balanced perspective once she becomes queen. Because while advisors and officials may guide Leonor politically, Sofia will likely remain one of the few people who can speak to her simply as family. A glimpse of the future. The reunion moment between Leonor and Sofia was more than just a touching family interaction, it was a glimpse into the future of Spain's monarchy. A future where the royal family feels more relatable and human. A future where sisterhood stands alongside tradition. As Princess Leonor continues her preparation for leadership and Infanta Sofia grows into her own public role, the bond between them may become one of the defining elements of the modern Spanish royal family. And if their reunion showed us anything, it's that their relationship is built on something deeper than duty. It's built on genuine love and loyalty. The symbolism behind their reunion. Royal moments often carry symbolic meaning, and the reunion between Leonor and Sofia was no exception. For Spain, the image of the two sisters together represented stability, continuity, and the promise of a new generation guiding the monarchy forward. For royal fans, it offered a rare look at the emotional side of royal life. And for many families watching around the world, it simply reminded them of the power of sibling bonds. Because whether you're a future queen or a younger sister standing proudly beside her, some things remain universal. Missing someone, reuniting after time apart, and realizing that no matter how much life changes, family remains constant. Why the world is watching these sisters. The global fascination with Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofia continues to grow each year. Part of that interest comes from their roles in one of Europe's most historic monarchies. But another reason is their authenticity. They represent a generation of royals who grew up in the digital age, where transparency and relatability matter more than ever. Their interactions feel natural rather than staged. And moments like their reunion reinforce the idea that the future of royalty may be more personal, emotional, and human than the past. Final thoughts: a sisterhood that will shape the future. The reunion between Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofia may have lasted only a few minutes, but its impact continues to resonate with royal fans around the world. Because in that brief moment, people didn't just see royalty. They saw sisterhood. They saw two young women navigating extraordinary lives while holding on to the most important relationship they have, each other. And as the years unfold, one thing seems certain. No matter how demanding Leonor's future role becomes, and no matter where Sofia's path leads her, their bond will remain one of the strongest pillars of Spain's modern monarchy. If you enjoyed this story about Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofia, make sure you subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Which moment between the royal sisters touched you the most? And do you think their bond will shape the future of Spain's royal family? Stay tuned, because the story of these two sisters is only just beginning. Crown.